Have you seen what you're wearing? You can't shake your head at me like that.
I just did.
Like
I just did.
You're the epitome of ridiculous.
Do you want to do this video?
Yeah, we're doing the video. We're in it.
God,
We're already started.
We're doing the video.
I think she's like filming now.
So obviously this is SDS Arms. It's I thought it was SDS Imports, but apparently every 2 weeks they change their name now. I don't know what's up with that.
One time in almost 7 years.
I did. I think it's more than once.
No, and people don't let it go. But yeah, SDS Arms. That's who we are now.
They're releasing handguns called the Mucus for some reason.
The Musoc. There are a lot of Marine. I don't think they're called former Marines. They're always Marines. I was in the Army, but yeah, the Musoc.
Musoc.
Yeah, Musoc. So we had our 1911 U.S. Army.
Or is it?
No, I don't know what kind of sock it is, but apparently the Marines like it.
Can you store it in the wool sock if you wanted to?
I don't know if I would. Don't put a gun in your sock. They don't go in your sweatpants, waistband, and they don't go in your socks.
Anyway, tell us about the gun already.
Yeah. So the Musoc is just kind of coming off the heels of our U.S. Army. So we've got our World War II 1911. And then we had the M45A1, which was kind of, our radar, which was like kind of our global war on terror. So the Musoc was kind of the next evolution in that, surplus guns that you can't buy off the shelf anymore.
Right. Yeah.
And the Musoc was, a kind of a transitional era where they used to take military 1911s after World War II and Vietnam, and they started adding off-the-shelf commercial parts to them to make them relevant for the warfighter of the time, which was the Marine Corps Expeditionary Units. And so we got 1911s, got enhanced sights on them. They were some of the first service guns to feature ambidextrous, safeties, as well as the beaver tail grip safety, because apparently Marines complain about hammer bite like every other human being. And it's got a nice little ring hammer, and then they put a nice set of Pacmar, overmolded grips on there for kind of good feeling in the hand. So target crown barrel, because again, the Musoc clones were built off of surplus World War II guns that were just modernized for the units that were carrying them at the time. And we just, again, there's a lot of those guns that you can never buy off the shelf, one, because they're made in so small numbers. So we thought giving collectors and fans of this Marine Corps, sidearm, an opportunity to own something that kind of looked and felt the part.
That feels good. There's just something about that style grip, that wrap around. Just
it's one that I think
OG, right?
And even when people feel them again, they're like, man, these were cool. Why'd I ever, get rid of them? And so we're starting to see a lot more people using those wraparound grips.
Yeah. Well, what I like about all of the kind of the OG, the throwback, the retro stuff y'all are doing, what I like is that, if you do happen across a good deal on an original,
do it.
Like, put it in the safe, bring it out sparingly.
Yeah.
Go with something like that.
But if you want to go to the range every weekend with your friends, that right there fits the bill perfectly.
You don't have to worry about it, right?
Yep.
Let's take a quick break here at NRAAM 25 to give a shout out to our friends over at Nutra Authority. Now, with the health issues I've been experiencing lately, Jared over there at Nutra Authority suggested 3 products. The first, this pump capacitor. Now, this tastes great. This is the Raspberry Rage. They also have the grape lime and an unflavored, but the pump capacitor is just a drink I drink every morning. And this stuff right here, it really helps to promote that blood flow. He also recommended this one right here, which is the Equilibrium, taking this daily. This helps to block estrogen and help to control those cortisol levels, very important hormones. Speaking of hormones, it's also got me on the Test Authority. Now, this is not a testosterone replacement, but this right here will help to boost your natural production, whatever level that might be. So get with Jared over at Nutra Authority, find out what supplements might work for you, run that by your primary care physician, obviously, and get yourself on the road to better health today. Everybody's going to ask, of course, but chamberings?
In 45 ACP only. Only, yeah. We're kind of been narrowing down those SKUs a little bit, kind of, tightening up. But, if the people demand it in 9mm, the answer is not ever a definite no. But for now, the initial shipments of these, at least probably through the end of this year, are going to be in 45 only.
So for now, it's go OG or go home. That's what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
45. It's
I don't have a problem.
It still would hurt.
1911s need to be in 45. I'm okay with 38 Super as well.
That's it. I'm out. No.
But hey, that's the fun caliber.
It is a cool 38. I mean, there's not very many calibers that I think are just awful, but they're like 38 Super. It stirs emotions and shooters very passionately. That's the way I'll say
probably
it.
True. What other you got? Other cool stuff we can look at?
Yeah, we've got a new PCC and some other stuff. So
let's do it.
Check them out.
PCC, the CCP.
Again, so how did you make it this far?
I don't know.
So We've teased this a little bit, but you know we've kind of made some changes as we go,
It's
just
the
to kind of
MAC
give
X. It gives you the ick.
the
So
MAC
it's the
IX.
MAC
Yes,
X.
yep. So this is going to be our direct blowback. You know, pistol caliber. You know, it's going to ship in the country as a pistol, but you can add that brace,
Sure.
or if you're one of those guys that doesn't mind E-forms with the ATF, you can turn it into a cool little short barrel rifle. But this one's got a full pick rail up top. It's got, you know, a traditional set of, you know, AR windage and elevation adjustable sights. Half by 28 threaded barrel with a 3-lug. So you guys that like your gun kazoos or
Don't
your
like that
suppressors,
3-lug.
it's easy on and off.
I
You
don't
know, one of
understand
those.
why you got the prejudice against 4-lugs, but you know,
I don't know, man. Blame the metric system.
the 3-lug.
I think it's the metric system. And unlike some other guys, we didn't choose a proprietary magazine with ours. We're going to use MP5 or MAC5 magazines in here. So if you have a MAC5 and you own one of our IXs, you don't have to go buy another, you know, third-party magazine there.
Yeah,
so
that's awesome.
very familiar AR controls. So
Yeah.
that one should be coming out here
Yeah.
really soon. You know, I think it's going to make a great companion piece to the MAC5. So
Right.
2 different guns, direct blowback, roller delayed, but they both utilize the same magazine.
Same
So,
magazine,
yep.
yeah. Oh yeah. Very cool. And I mean, the cool thing about, I guess, this is if you're more modern, right? So like, the thing about the MAC5 is if you're like MP5, HK retro,
Yeah.
like lover from movies and whatever. But there's a new breed, I think, of folks that they don't appreciate, like the throwback type
Or
stuff,
they
right?
modernize them, and I don't think that's wrong. Like, you know,
Yeah,
there's
that's
cool
true.
parts from like
That's
Midwest
true.
and UTG. So it's
Yeah.
like me, my Mac 5 has wood furniture on it, which is like, you know,
Right.
super old and vintage. But I think it's cool that way. So again, it's a companion gun that has that AR more look and
Just
feel.
a newer feel,
Yeah,
more
and,
modern
you know,
feel, yeah.
but it's, you know, really reliable action. Like I said, at least we didn't go with the proprietary magazine. So you know, you can buy magazines from, you know, a plethora of manufacturers. I got to say plethora today. I don't throw that word in the mix too often.
Would you say it is a plethora?
It is. There are definitely a plethora of MP5.
Comment down below if you know the reference to plethora.
No.
Just saying.
There
You know the reference, right?
I said it. Of course I do.
Of course you do. Because everybody learns that word from that source.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to give it away. I'm just going to say source. You don't learn that word in school.
No,
It's
no.
not on the SAT verbals. I would know because I didn't take them.
Yeah,
But,
and, you know, we don't want to give you a gargantuan clue.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
we just
Yeah, that's cool. I like the icks. It gives me the ick.
Yeah.
In a good way. That's gotta be fun when you have products that the consumer can play around with. That's gotta be fun to like see social media posts and other things where people have kind of made them their own, right?
there's some days where I have to be like, oh man, he just voided his warranty.
Some are good, some
you
are
know,
bad.
or hey
Yeah.
man, put down the Dremel. You know, maybe read some more instructionals. But
Easy on the spray paint.
I think it's the same as like kind of car guys. Like
Yeah.
there's guys that tune Corvettes and there's guys that tune out their Miatas, and they're both all smiles at the end of the day, and I can respect that. So even the guys that take like a TSOS double stack, which is kind of more of your entry level or your value double stack, and they're doing all these crazy things to them, and they're doing the same fun stuff that guys that have your $5,000 Nighthawks, and
Right.
I think it's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I respect the game at both ends of the spectrum. Guns can be fun. That's what I always tell people. Have fun with them. Like, you know.
Thanks, man.
No, always
As
good seeing
always.
you.
Always. Bye.